like to have fun in the dressing room is where it all started, and a few years ago in New York, I had to pull out some dance moves for the guys and kind of get the boys rallied up because we were kind of in a slump, and it just seemed to take off. It did work. We were at that time we weren't in a playoff spot, and I think we went on a 18 game run where we only lost maybe 2 games and got back in the spot, but it seemed to have worked. So, it just took off from there. So everybody started putting it on YouTube and got a lot of hits. So,
I don't think I've ever seen an NHL player do a cartwheel before.
I thought it was pretty amazed myself because a lot of my teammates were like, I can't believe you can do a cartwheel, but I just thought it was something any kind of athlete could do. So
you rocked out.
Yeah, I try to mix in some new moves every now and then. So.
Now, you've got sort of a diverse background. Your father's Brazilian, your mother's Canadian, correct?
Yes.
And so your father, was he like handing you a soccer ball when you were a toddler?
Yeah, I've started out in soccer. Played soccer and hockey for a while together until hockey just got too busy and I had to choose one or the other. But definitely came from a soccer family. Used to watch it every Sunday with my dad and loved it. It was very similar to hockey as well, a lot of the rules. So that was another thing as well. My dad liked me playing it because it had similar rules. And but he didn't even know what hockey was at first. And my mom had to tell him what we wore on our feet to glide around on the ice. He didn't even know we had blades on. So I think I thought we had like shoes or something. I don't know, but. He's one of the most knowledgeable guys now of the game, and he was one of my best coaches growing up, so I got to thank him a lot. My grandfather played professional hockey. I never got to meet him. He passed away before I started playing, but it always ran in the family, and she was the one that first got me into it. Just being from Vancouver, she knew about it, because in LA, why would you ever think they would have hockey?
Exactly.
And she called up one of the local rinks and asked if they had youth hockey, and they surprisingly did, and took my brother and I down there, and never even seen a game of hockey. And the coach was like, "Oh, they're on the team," because there was nobody that played, so they were happy just to have somebody there that wanted to play. And and then just the first time I played, I just loved it, and I fell in love with it. And also, my mom couldn't handle me just in one sport. I was too much energy and just driving her nuts. So she needed to get me out of the house a little more. So, yeah, but I loved it from the start. The first time I ever jumped on the ice, it was great.
So it must run in the family. Of course, Bryce being the captain at West Point on the hockey team there.
Yeah, he was captain for his last 2 years at school and graduated this past spring, and he's doing great. He's doing training now for to go over to Europe. He's going to be a communication specialist working for NATO. So he's doing great. Yeah.
Underachiever, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit. You got all the brains.
Let's talk about what you've achieved on the ice to this point. Fans really enjoying your brand of hockey here in Toronto, but was it tougher for you? I mean, you're not 6'6", and
well, I think one of the biggest strengths I have is my skating ability, and a lot of the time you hear the guys getting knocked on that those kind of players aren't really fitting into the game anymore because of the speed. So, I mean, I got to make sure that my skating is always going to be top at the game, and I got to always be one of the fastest guys because that's what's going to keep me at this level. And playing that physical role will only help me and create more room for my line mates as well. But I always got to use my skating as to my advantage, and that's definitely what's helped me stay at this level for this long, for sure.